All right, collision theory video part 2. So in this video, we're going to look at how there has to be enough energy in the collisions for the reaction to happen as well. Okay? So just as a reminder from what we looked at in the first video, there are 3 things that have to happen for collision theory or for a chemical reaction to happen, and this is known as collision theory. The first is that we have to have a collision to have a reaction. The second is that collisions provide the energy required to break bonds, which is what we're going to talk about right now. And the last is that not all collisions are successful because you have to have the correct orientation, you have to have enough energy, and you have to actually have collisions happen. So activation energy is basically the energy that's needed to break the bonds between particles. So within a compound like this, okay, where we've got oxygen combined with nitrogen, we have to be able to separate the oxygen and the nitrogen apart before either of them can react with the carbon or the oxygen here. Okay? If the particles are moving too slowly, they don't have enough energy, when they collide, they're just going to bounce off each other and they're not actually going to have a reaction. Okay, I'm going to post a few videos in your OneNote as well to help explain this part. So basically, what happens is we can represent this by a graph, is we have our reactants, A and B. If they don't have enough energy, then the reaction doesn't happen. Okay, and this is known as the activation energy. So this is the energy needed for the reaction to actually occur. And this is the last part of collision theory. Some reactions don't need very much activation energy, and so they happen much more quickly. Spontaneous reactions actually have 0 activation energy, which means that they will occur without any additional energy added. Okay? Just as a reminder, from the particle model of matter, solids tend to vibrate and are tightly packed, but they don't have a ton of energy. So the particles within them are not as likely to react with as much energy as a liquid or a gas. Gases have the most energy, but they're also the most spread out. So when they collide, we have more of a chance of having a reaction happen because they have more energy, but the actual number of collisions that happen in gases are less. Okay? They move freely about and take up all the space and at high speed. So when 2 molecules collide, if there isn't enough energy, no reaction will happen. It'll just stay at this front part with A and B. Okay? If there is enough energy, though, then we have the reaction and we have new products formed. So for sodium and water, there was a high enough, or we met the activation energy. The particles between water and sodium were colliding with enough energy in the right orientation to have the chemical reaction happen. Okay? So once again, in order for a reaction to occur, there must be collisions between the reactant molecules here before the arrow. The molecules must be facing the correct way, and there must be enough energy for those collisions to happen so that the reaction actually occurs. Here are a bunch of videos to help you, and websites as well, to help you understand the collision theory. Okay? And then in OneNote, you will have a few more as well.